And I am coming to you guys today with my message of today. And my message of today is to whom much is given, much is required. Now, God has given us all special abilities and talents, right? Some of them we just don't know that we have until we use the ones that He have already given us. And a lot of people allow fear to hold them back from using their gifts, their talents, their wisdom, right? Because you can be talented in multiple areas, especially when coming into the kingdom of God, right? He started letting you know his secrets and the things he have created you to do and the things he have installed in you. And like I said, whether that's wisdom, whether that's parenting, whether that's teaching, whether that's business, it could be ministry, right? God has special talents in every area for each one of us, right? But we will never know if we don't step out on faith and use the first talent that we recognize that God has given us, right? Because we all have a special ability to do something, and it is something in this earth that only you can do that others can't do like you, right? They may be a lot of people in many different fields, but none of them can do it like you. That's why God gave us different fingerprints, right? It's only one person that can do the things that you do it in the way that you do it. It can be the same fields, but you just do different things, right? And as you step out on faith and believe God that whatever talent or wisdom or whatever gift He has given you, right, that you can use it and prosper off of it and help others to prosper with your gift, right? Because God is not only about selfishness, right? God is about helping others. And as you help others, then God will help you in your struggles and the things you deal with, right? But you can't just always be about self. So I'm coming with this off of the parable of the talents, right? We all know that those of us who are believers, that God has given these three people talents, right? One of them He gave 5 talents, another one He gave 2, and another one He gave 1. So God don't give us all extra talents, and there's some talents that we just prayed and asked God for, right? We asked God for our spiritual wisdom. We asked God to open our eyes. We asked God for different gifts. And once He give it to us, He want us to use it, right? You don't want to get there with whatever gift that He has given you, and now you're afraid, you're doubting, now you're just letting it go to waste, right? Because of maybe people's response, right? You're not getting the support you need, or people are judging you wrongly, right? Because they don't understand the way you do certain things, right? A lot of people let fear hold them back. And like I said, we see this in the parable of the talents. So the one that God gave 5 talents to, right? He recognized God gave me 5 spiritual gifts, right? I'm gonna go double my talents, and that's what he did. The one that God gave 2 talents to, right? He said, oh, I recognize God gave me 2 talents. He went and doubled his talents, right? But the one that He gave 1 talent with, right, he went and hid his talent because he said, I was afraid of judgment, not only from my master, right, not only from God, but how other people probably would receive me. So he hid his gift away from the world, hid it to himself, and he just told God, yeah, I know I have this talent, but I know that you judge harshly, right, if I misuse it in any type of way. Instead of trusting God even when he make mistakes, to help him get back up again and use his talent in the right way, he just decided to just not display it, show it at all, not to go after his gift, not to go after what God placed in his heart. And so because of that, God punished him for it, right? But the other ones who had 5 and 2 talents, God doubled their blessings and told them to, because you have doubled your talents, your gift, your wisdom, the things that you can do, right? Enter into the joy of the Lord. Well done, my good and faithful servant. And we all want to hear that, especially us as believers, right? We want to hear God say, well done, my good and faithful servant, on Judgment Day, or as we use our gifts and talents. You may have a gift, right, that you don't know how it's going to get done. You don't know how the information. All of us have to start off like that, right? Once we start a business, once we start a ministry, once we have children, right? We don't get the handprint. Some things you can only learn through experience, but you will never learn it unless you step out on faith and trust God doing every step of it, right? It may be slow, it may be lacking, it can get discouraging, right? When you're wanting that support or different people to understand you and support you, but they don't. But you have to believe if God called you to it, He's going to send the people that's for your gift and the people who need your gift. So don't be afraid to use your gifts and talents, because we don't want to be like the servant with the one talent, right? So afraid of judgment, so afraid of being rejected, so afraid of what other people may say. And then when we go to see God, right, or we wondering why things are not working out in our life, because God want to use us to use our talents in different ways. Maybe that's why it's not going well on your job, right? Maybe it's not going well in the career that you chose, but God got a different career for you. So once you open up your spiritual eyes and you pray and you take a leap of faith and go in the direction God tells you to go, right, you will start seeing the miracles, the doors open, and now you will know that this is from God, right? God gave me this talent and it will come to pass. But you have to pray and keep the faith, and don't worry about those who don't support you, those who don't understand you, those who come against you, because God will use a total stranger to come into your life and bless your life. I see this in my own life. Like, you guys know, I have different talents, right? From ministry, wisdom to fashion, and God has blessed me in every area, and I use it. And sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing in certain areas, right? But as I continue to trust God, as I continue to grow, as I continue to seek God, right, He give me the wisdom. He send me to different places. He send different people across my path, and He would do the same for you. So do not waste your talents, your ability. If you have prayed for gifts, or if you there in that position, right, after you know that your gifts and talents is working in your favor and it's not going good, because we all know what too much is given, much is required, right? So if God give you all of those talents, right, He expects you to use them. He expects you to be on point. He expects you to be there in every area that He called you to. So it can be stressful, right? If you have multiple different talents and you're getting pulled in one direction and a different direction here, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. But when those overwhelming times come, you want to pray and ask God to give you the strength and take one step at a time, do one thing at a time for each talent that you have, for each business that you have, for each goal that you have, right? Wherever it is in your life, because God is expecting you to use all your gifts and your talents, especially if you prayed on it, right? You can't give up now. You can't say this is too much for me, because you prayed for it, right? You prayed on God to bless you, right? You